Good morning. Alright, so I have been playing with some speakers and I wanted to show some differences. Dusty controller and some volumes and tones because of what I did the other day with this creation. That is now turned on, and that's the stock Orlando speaker. It's about the same size as this one right here. This one is out of a tablet. So alright, so that's the D4L engine sound stock speaker. Well, they're both stock. This one I thinned this box, made it thinner, and ported it, and there's a little piece of foam in that slot. I don't know if you can see that. Has a different tone. I like playing with audio. So set this up here. That one. Now, goofing around with old cell phone speakers and tablet speakers and whatnot, I come up with this one. It's kind of a weird little speaker. There's an opening right here. So this one's a really odd one. And I have a plan for this one. Really quiet. Can't even hear it over the motor and the axles and drive shafts and everything. But when it's enclosed in my hand, it's a little different tone and volume. And you got this little bitty one here. It's even got a couple of little smash places on it. It's out of a cell phone. Old broken cell phone. My kids tear up everything, so I take everything apart that they tear up. So here's a little bitty speaker. Now this one's actually interesting because messing around yesterday, it stuck to a piece of carbon fiber because there is still sticky stuff on it. And I noticed something, so I'm going to do exactly what it was. Now there's a magnet on the back of it. Makes it louder. Just something interesting. Rather interesting. So, then you go, you plug this big one in that I made. And you hear a significant difference in volume and tone. So, I have a plan for this little speaker box because it sounds really good, and I have plans for the other speakers here. Go ahead and turn this off. That's my Jeep that still needs a servo. Procrastinate for other projects. Put my other speaker back in. Plug my other speaker back in. I just wanted to show that, and the LEDs that I put in my tow truck, I don't know what they came out of specifically. I know it was some generic toy that my daughter brought home that she broke right away. She usually does. Her teacher has a thing called treasure box for when kids get good grades or good behavior or whatever. And she always gets to bring little things home. And when she does, I take the LEDs out of stuff, speakers. It doesn't matter what they break. I usually take it apart, see if there's anything I can add to my hobby. And these LEDs here, I'll turn the light on here so you can see this. They are just these little LEDs. They have a built-in flash or strobe feature. I did find them on eBay, not on AliExpress, and they're also at another store. Well, it's actually the same store, and ironically, I have used them. I have bought from them before. I already put the lights away. The little, they're in here. The UV purple micro SMDs that I bought that I haven't used yet. I bought them from them. So they're on eBay. I can't remember the name of the company right now, but they sell these in different sizes or whatever. And they seem to work pretty good. I think I'm having some problems with my switch here on my tow truck. It's working this time, but I will turn off the light here, the flash, and show this headlights, flashers, headlights, turn signal, headlights and flashers. All three, and if you notice, the lower lights are red when it's in the D4L strobe mode. So they're only flashing red. There is no blue in these lower two lights. No blue, none. But when I do this, they're blue and red. I am pressing and holding one time on the light module switch. So, and that is just blue and red. That's the auxiliary mode, auxiliary light for the Orlando on the D4L, which would normally be the light bar on the roof. So now that I've turned that on, if I turn the headlights on, they still flash like that. If I turn the hazards on or caution lights, they're still flashing blue and red. If I go strobe, it goes back to red. So it's kind of interesting. They're neat little LEDs. I didn't know they made these. So pretty cool. If you want to make a police car or any kind of emergency vehicle that needs blue or red flashing lights, strobing lights, these LEDs don't require an external module to flash. The two batteries that were in the thing that my daughter broke, the toy that it came with, are right here in front of the truck. They're just little watch batteries, these, and you could touch these two batteries to each other and hook them up to one light, just touch negative to positive, and they flash blue and red. There is no external module required to make them strobe. So it's pretty interesting to me. They don't have the synced police strobe, so to speak. When I say synced, I'm talking like there's this little module thing that my daughter brought home in a little toy also, and it has batteries in it. It has a spring on here, and that spring, when you touch it, it also is blue and red, but it has the more like a police strobe or ambulance strobe or fire truck, emergency vehicle. But this is on a timer, and it has a spring that you tap. You see the spring right there. So you touch that spring to that pad right there, and that connects it. I don't know how to bypass that and hook that up to anything, but this is what these do right there. That's it, which is good enough for this truck. But anyway. Just realized I put that on upside down, backwards. So, I got a lot of lights, LEDs and stuff that I mess around with, and try to figure out different things I can do with them. And yeah. Seems like my servo's getting a little, something is loose here. Once in a while this servo seems a little weak compared to what it used to be. This thing still got so much power. But it climbs. It just goes. Little top heavy, just look over every once in a while. That's just fun. Put it back up. Gotta break something. I'm just carelessly ramming it into stuff on my desk here. So, another thing I did was used my 9mm, pressed them onto a set of nuts, wheel nuts, and got them on my Durock, so that's actually heavier now. And I know rotating wheel mass is harder on the drivetrain and everything, but these are still the stock drive shafts, and I've never broke them, so whatever. If they break, they break. I've had these quite a while now. Kenneth Lerche, don't know how to pronounce his name exactly. Never did ask, really. He asked me if I had a battery tray. I think I already showed this. I don't know. But I made him a battery tray for his OH35A01 Jeep, and I put a little Velcro strap on it so I can mount that on there. And picking through my stuff, I found just enough ball screws to go ahead and put them in the chassis for him, because they are kind of a pain, especially the inside ones. The holes are stripped out now, and I had to finish tightening them all up with, get that light on, with notched needle nose pliers. Got a notch cut in them here, so they grip pretty good. So that's getting ready to be sent out pretty soon. I'm tracking my 5-door Jeep body, and it should be here really soon. And that's what I'm going to use to shorten the front of this chassis. I do believe I'm going to shorten the front, and then send it to Kenneth. I'll keep my body, of course. He's 3D printing me a body, which will require lots of sanding, but that's where this comes in. I want to do something specific with it. I told him previously, before we really got into talking about any swaps or anything, I let him know about the van and some other things on Colts 3D and whatnot. And yeah, that's in the making. But I also wanted to show, I found a material. It's sticky on the inside, silver. It's like a insulation type stuff. It kind of looks plastic, but vinyl canvas almost, and it just looks right on my Jeep here. I put stiffer rear springs on the back of it, so it's not doing the squat. And yeah, little CJ. I think I'm gonna put a Tarsi in this, the TS000 or whatever. think I'm going to retire the TS and get a Tarsi for this, because this was a fun little Jeep, even though it just stock size tires. And it's, for such a small Jeep, it's weighted pretty good. Need a servo for it. And I think I'm going to do chassis mount servo. I've got the aluminum mount in there already. Give that a try, see if I like it. If not, I'll go back to axle mounted, which was a very close fit anyway. Yeah, and my carbon fiber chassis gears. It's kind of stiff in the rear. I've got the heavy springs right here and the lighter weight in the front. I don't want it to do too much squat in the rear. It doesn't have a ton of articulation, which it's not supposed to be a crawler. It's supposed to be a mud truck, hence the Mudslinger tires. And these BBS Mini Z wheels I painted to match the truck over a year ago. So, and I did find 2 little LEDs that are actually really cool. If I can get them now. I don't know if I can't get them to show up right now because the wires are tucked up in here. But they're both different, and the outside one is brighter than the inside one. This one's the bright one. But I got those drilled out and put in there. Little tiny little drip of super glue on the inside holding each one in. So those are permanent now. Just a ramble video showing all the stuff, a little bit here and there. So I've got to figure out a way to mount the body in the rear and in the front. I've got the little clip here that I made so for the front, and I'll have to make a chassis piece to go across and then have that little clip in there, and probably do a magnet in the rear just like I did before I chop the bed out. So I love this little truck. It just looks so cool. Definitely unique. I found some, I don't remember what scale they were. I want to say 172. I could be wrong or no, there was 128 to 124 scale stickers, decals, water slide decals. And there's one, and it's actually reversed for both sides, so they both face the same way, but they both look the same. It's a little anime figure, female with red hair, orange hair, whatever. I think she'll fit right here. I might get that and then put a number on here. Maybe I might just leave it like this and go with it. The decals might be a later on thing. I've already decal bombed the crap out of this thing. So yeah, that's it. I haven't really done anything significantly major other than what I just showed. I shortened because I had to steal parts. I shortened the wheelbase just a tiny bit on my X01. It's the rear suspension. The lower links I robbed and put now it's got all 4 of the heavy duty ones on it, and it also has the GK24 link ends on this end, just on this set. So kind of a good transition, I guess, but it still worked out just fine. The exact length it needs to be. I think it actually does a little better and it now has the Tundra rear axle, widened front axle, which they're actually very close size-wise width. So that's going to stay like that. I knocked over stacks of tires. I have a whole bunch of stacks of tires back here. The green truck F250 I have put in a box along with all of my paperclip chassis, my blue F150 or F100. Those are all going to take more time because of tools. I need a good set of tap and dies so I can do the brass work that needs to be done, and I need a new set of a good set of drill bits that aren't dull. So that's some things that's coming next. Well, not next, but eventually. I've got some little brass ammo casing pieces sitting here. I'm probably just going to start adding some brass to my R32 axles. The wheel weights are in them. They're pretty heavy. But I'm gonna do my little hub weights and stuff that I've done on my Duroc and my tow truck, and I think even my little Jeep has them. Yeah, all these front brass weights, every little half gram, quarter gram helps. So start adding some pork to these things and see what I can get it to accomplish. Because I mean, it's already, with the wheel weights that I put in, it's already heavy in the front. There's some in the back too, but they're not near as heavy as the front ones. You can hear the difference and feel the difference. But the R32 is definitely the best crawling Orlando Hunter based vehicle or tiny 4x4 based vehicle that I have, mostly because of the wheelbase and the worm gear axles work tremendously for slow crawls with this brushless system, brushless motor. I have the Furatech Lizard in it,